Yesua Yasir said, all it will... Okay, I think I'll look back a little bit here. Brothers, why... This is Jabir shouting. Brothers, why don't we start reciting Quran 938, 39, and 911 out at them using that loudspeaker? It might make those brothers of ours up there turn their weapons on their kafir partners. I mean, look what happened just minutes ago. Yesua Yasir said, all it will probably do is make it so they won't fire on us. There's still more kafir cops than them, brother. Can we at least try it, brother? Can we at least try it, brother? Asked Mahbub in pain from the bullet that struck him. Yesua Yasir quit smiling, turned to them, and said with disappointment in his voice, look here, brothers. What part of kill and be killed in the cause of Allah do you not understand? We charge them like brave Wali and they just did. And we no longer have to stick our patooties in the air. There, I said it. We don't have to do that. No more. No more patootie in the air 5 times a day, every day for the rest of our lives. We can have virgins and booze that won't hurt us, that won't give us a hangover. We can have pretty eternal boy servants feeding us grapes on pillows as we recline on them in the shade. Boys who are eternally fresh and chaste that you'd think were like scattered pearls. Not only that, but I don't know about you, but I'm not that well. Oh, what is the word I'm looking for? Well, I'm not like one of our black brothers down there. If you know what I'm saying. Know what I'm saying? I want a palm tree-sized penis, like Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, has promised us. I want my bloody wounds from sword to smell like musk, like Muhammad, may Allah pray on him, give him blessing, has said will happen if we die in Allah's cause. As the cop on the speaker called out again for them to turn themselves in, Yesua Yasir smiled and started laughing, saying, as we drive into the hell of bullets, I suggest we put on our seatbelts for safety reason, okay? Ha! They find us bullet-ridden yet driving with seatbelt? Ha! It will be funny, don't you think? And Yesua Yasir let out a big hearty laugh. Mahbub and Ziad didn't laugh. They just couldn't believe they were about to die in one man's effort to get a huge palm tree-sized penis and boys to feed him grapes while reclining on pillows forever. Right. Yeah, forever. Muhammad Yesua Yasir smiled with a look of ecstasy, then said, well, time to become giant. Right when Yesua was about to kick the cop car into overdrive and go out under a hail of bullets like Wali and Thayer, Ziad shouted out, having a big penis is nothing, brother. It's a bother, brother. Really, believe me, it's more trouble than pleasure. Yesua Yasir laughed and said, how do you know? Ziad Jabir thought desperately and said, believe me, brother, I know. Allah blessed me well down there already. Besides, it gets in the way when wiping. So, said Yasir, can't you grab that thing and lift it up out of the way when wiping? If you can't, ever heard of the soap and the water, brother? Ziad Jabir desperately then shouted, Hadith has Muhammad saying that since Christians and Jews don't dye their hair, we're to do the opposite of Christians and Jews. Guess what, brothers? Christians and Jews use toilet paper and they use the soap and the water. So we aren't even to use soap and water if it gets our big dicks shitty. Just use dirt, like Quran says, if there's no water around. Yesua Jabir rolled his eyes. Yesua Yasir Yesua Yasir rolled his eyes and said, "That's only if there is no water for ablution. Are we then to use dirt? And it's not dirt, but clean dirt. Clean soil, brother." It's clean soil, brother. What the burning fire is clean soil? How would you know it was clean? Shouted Ziad with desperation, hoping he could keep the three from entering a hail of bullets. Yesua Yasir thought and said, "Sand? Sand would be clean soil, I think." Yesua Yasir turned and faced the line of death awaiting and said, "Time to get the virgins." He was just about to put the stolen cop car into drive again when suddenly he and Mahbub cringed when Ziad desperately shouted out, "I don't believe in Allah, and I don't think I ever did. I think Muhammad was being squeezed, not by Jibril in that cave when Muhammad said he couldn't read, but instead was being squeezed by the shaitan. Muhammad did think he was possessed by a demon, and you can't deny that, brother. He even climbed a hill to throw himself off to try to free himself from it." Muhammad Yeshua Yasir and Mahbub Mazen looked around slowly at Ziad Jabir and with looks of horror in their eyes. Ziad then shouted, I looked at the CD we picked up in that place near Seattle. It didn't really register with me of just how stupid Islam is until you started shooting Atif, who I know was intelligent and wanted to believe in the truth. You killed a pious man for a religion that says it's okay to rape women in front of their disbelieving husbands. Yeshua Yasir had a look of horror in his eyes. Mahbub was just looking down, silently putting pressure on his bullet wound to try to stop the pain and bleeding. Can you believe this, Mahbub? Can you believe this? Shouted the horror-stricken Yasir. Do you see just how satanic those CDs are? Kubashi has to die. It's made it so Ziad is going to have his beautiful skin burnt off and replaced daily throughout eternity in hellfire. Mahbub continued to look down. He then said, Yasir, I think Ziad might be right. Islam is nothing but a fantasy. A stupid, deadly fantasy that only leads to making those who believe in it look like evil, crazy dummy. And face it, we've been acting like evil, crazy dummy for a long time. You know it, brother. Yeshua Yasir felt as though he had just been stabbed. He cried out, shouting, No! Don't say that! Shaitan has gotten into both of you. He's not in your noses. He's in your brains. Right now in your brains. You are now both kuffars destined for hellfire. Mahbub looked up and said, sadly, I'm sorry, Yasir. Muhammad, he was what the kuffars say he was. He was wacko and evil and pedophilic, and he thought inanimate objects talked to him, thought the black stone of Kaaba gave him salutation even. It was as if he was on some kind of LSD. He was a He was a warmongering wacko, using our sex using our sex drives to fight for him. It's hard to think straight when you are thinking about sex promised to you, even if it's a lie. I just acted like I was on fire for Allah so you wouldn't kill me, because I know you have such a strong faith in Muhammad. I'm sorry, brother. Me also. Me also. I'm sorry too, said Ziad with penetrating eyes of terror at Yasir, Yesua Yasir. Yasir looked at the sad-faced Mahbub. Then he looked at the sad-faced Ziad. Yesua Yasir started crying. He then wailed. Yasir shouted out, as if in great pain, "This can't be happening. You have to be lying. You have to be. You are testing me, aren't you? All is testing me. You are nothing but jinn, aren't you? You are jinn, evil jinn, trying to stop me now from entering Jannah. You're trying to damn me if I agree with you, right? When I am so close to Jannah. Allah save me." The cops blared over the speaker for them to give themselves up. Yeshua looked at the gun on his hand. Yeshua looked at the gun in his hand. He wondered if he had enough bullets to do what Muhammad told him, which was to kill those who got out of Islam. "I loved you, both of you, like sons to me. You are nothing to me now," he hissed with bullets. He hissed with "You are nothing to me now." You're nothing to... Yeah. "I loved you, both of you, like sons to me. You're nothing to me now," he hissed with building fury. Suddenly, as he looked at the canyon rim behind him in the mirror, he got an idea. He put the car in drive and immediately turned the wheel while stepping on the gas. A few bullets from the cop cars rang out, but when they saw where the car was headed, they quit shooting. The car spun about a little on the snow, then started bouncing on the potholes and bumps as it made its straight line for the Snake River Canyon. "What are you doing, brother?" shouted a concerned Mahbub. Yeshua totally ignored the question and instead started reciting Quran 9, 38, 39, and 111, the same scriptures the young trucker recited before destroying the DOT scale house. "No!" shouted Ziad in horror. He's heading us for the canyon. He's going to take us over the ledge. He's going to take us over the ledge." I think he means take us over the ledge. Take us over the edge. Take us over the edge. "It's going to take us over the ledge." Both Ziad and Mahbub tried desperately to escape the car by jumping out of the doors, but the snowy terrain was so hilly and bumpy that they were being tossed away from the escape hatches, and the stolen cop car was gaining speed, getting closer and closer to the edge of the canyon rim. In desperation, Mahbub tried to shoot Yasir, but the bouncing was so violent he could only shoot the ceiling. The cop car continued in its suicidal trajectory, nearly flipping over on its side a few times. Mahbub would have shot Yasir, but there was now a clicking sound from his gun. "Please stop," Yasir begged the horrified Ziad Jabir. But the stolen cop car got faster and faster toward the cliff. Suddenly, right when Mahbub got enough control to open the door and jump out, he suddenly felt his heart coming up into his mouth. A feeling of being incredibly light suddenly filled his senses. He looked to the side and saw the snowy ground below him, only it was hundreds of feet below him, with nothing but air between him and it. For a brief moment, he actually felt like he was flying. The pain of the bullet wound in his shoulder just faded quickly away as death approached as a beautiful sunrise. As a matter of fact, the pain of having been recently shot in his shoulder wasn't registering in his brain at all, since the car was now launched off the canyon rim with him flying along with it. This will be continued.